Hello, welcome back to Mona Fitness channel. So today my topic is warming up and cooling down for when you're starting or walking for weight loss. So how to warm up to your body and how to cool down to your body. So now we start the topic of warming up and cooling down. So now let's start. Warming up and cooling down are integral to any exercise program, and yet I often see people in the gym who skip those most crucial part of their workout. This always fills me with horror as I wonder if they realize what a risk it can be. Warming up prepares the body for the activity that is to come. As soon as you start gentle exercise, changes begin to take place in the body. Your respiratory rate increases, the blood flow faster through the body, and your body temperature rises. With this, hormones are released that dilate the blood vessels, enable more blood to be diverted to the working muscles, and strengthen the heartbeat so that more oxygen rich blood is pumped to every organ. The body is primed for a higher level of exertion and therefore knows what to expect. In many ways, it is no different from a car that is understandably a little temperamental when cold, and that you wouldn't dream for driving at 160 kph 100 mph until it had a chance to warm up. In fact, you would probably be a danger of damaging their engine even attempting to do so. Warming up also take care of the body while significantly reducing the risk of injury. During gentle activity, synovial fluid is released that lubricates the joint and makes muscles more supple and elastic. Think of a piece of glue tack, which is much more likely to snap if pulled apart when cold rather than when warm and pliable. The body acts in the same way. Use your warm up as an opportunity to find your concentration. We will try to fit an exercise around our busy schedules, and therefore it is a good idea to take a few minutes to focus on what you are doing and what you want to get out of it. There is no need to rush, and this way you are much more likely to enjoy the workout and to achieve the goals you have set. What should I include in my warm up? The first aim in your warm up is to increase your body temperature slowly, as this gives your muscles and tendons time to prepare themselves for the demands you will make on them during the workout to come. You can do this in a variety of ways, and if you were in the gym, you should probably go for a piece of cardiovascular equipment such as a stepper bike, treadmill, or rower. However, this generally isn't an option at home, and so the best way to get warm is to walk at a gentle pace, and certainly however near the intensity you are looking to achieve during the aim body of your workout. The second stage should incorporate some stretches to improve motion around the joints and to protect against injury. It is very important that you only stretch after you have taken the time to get the body moving, as muscles can only achieve maximum performance when all their blood vessels are dilated, and once the increased blood flows has enabled greater flexibility. At rest, muscles only use 15 to 20% of blood flows compared to 70% or more after only 10 minutes of activities. Once you have finished your stretches, you should then gradually raise your heart rate until you have reached the impact level you want to sustain for the main workout. What should I include in my cool down? Cooling down is the exact opposite to warming up, and it is just as essential. While going to a much gentler pace. The aim is gradually to return your heart rate, respiration rate, and body temperature to normal and provide a safe and effective recovery from physical activity. It is very important that you don't stop cardiovascular activity suddenly without a winding down process. As you exercise, blood is pumped around the body quickly and is added by the muscles in the leg, particularly the calf muscles that contract as you walk and help to push the blood up the leg and around the body. If you suddenly stop walking, then the muscles stop working, causing blood to pool in the legs. This means that there is also insufficient blood flow to the brain, which can make you feel lightheaded and dizzy and potentially lead to varicose veins. The second stage of the cool down process is to stretch out all the major muscles group and to hold the stretch for longer than in your warm up in order to increase your flexibility. If you stretch regularly, you will be amazed how supple you become, which will be of real benefit as the years go by. Also, if you relax into your stretches, you will find that they become a genuine pleasure rather than a chore and provide a good opportunity to reflect on your workout and what you have achieved. Your warm up. Make sure you have enough layers on to keep you warm while your body temperature is still low. You can take these off as you get warm up, but do replace them again if you get cold at any point. Perform the following exercises in order, taking particular care that you keep warm in between any static stretches. 1. Gentle walking. What for? To raise your heart rate, respiration rate, and body temperature gradually, slowly preparing your body for the more vigorous exercise to come. How to do it? Start walking at a steady but gentle pace for 5 to 10 minutes, gradually raising your body temperature until you feel warm. Top tips: don't walk so fast that you feel out of breath. If it is particularly cold outside, you may need to walk for longer to feel warm. At this stage, don't push your body to do anything it isn't ready for. Next stretch. What for? To stretch, mobilize and release any tension from the neck. The muscles in the neck are particularly sensitive to pull and cracks when they are cold. So this is a great exercise to make sure the muscles are thoroughly warm before you start. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip width apart and the knees slightly relaxed. Take your left arm over your head and place the hand on your right ear or as close as your flexibility will allow. Using your hand to apply gentle pressure, tilt your head to the left side, lowering the ear toward the shoulder as far as feel comfortable. Hold the stretch for 10 seconds and then slowly bring your head back to the center. How many? Perform the stretch once on each side. Top tips: keep your nose and eyes pointing forwards all the way through the stretch. Don't pull on the head, just allow the weight of the hands to apply gentle pressure as the head tilts. Take your time to tilt the head to avoid pulling a muscle. Shoulder circle. What for? To mobilize the shoulders and upper back in preparation for your walking arms technique. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip width apart and your knees slightly relaxed, arms hanging loosely by your sides. Lift your elbows slightly out to the sides and start to circle your shoulders back, making the movement progressively bigger and bigger. How many? Circle 50 to 20 times and then repeat circling the shoulder forward. Top tips: make sure the movement is controlled. Try to keep the shoulder relaxed throughout the movement. Tricep stretch. What for? To stretch the triceps muscles in the back of each upper arm that will work hard once you start your power walk. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip width apart and your knees slightly relaxed. Arm by your sides. Extend your right arms up above your head, knee keeping it close to your ear. Drop your right arm as far down your back as your flexibility will allow. Then lift your left arm and use the left hand to push back on your elbow, gently increasing the stretch. Hold for 10 seconds. How many? Perform the stretch once with each arm. Top tips: use your left hand to keep the elbow pulled in towards the ear at the same time as pushing back on the elbow to increase the stretch. Make sure you keeping your core engaged to avoid arcing your back as you reach the arm down the spine. Apply gentle pressure on the elbow. You should feel the stretch, but it shouldn't be uncomfortable. Back and hamstring stretch. What for? To mobilize the spine and stretch the muscles down the back of your upper legs in preparation for your power walk. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip width apart and your knees slightly relaxed. Arms down by your sides, looking straight ahead. Slowly leading with your head, start to roll down through the spine, allowing your arms to relax towards the floor. Roll down as far as your flexibility will allow, placing your hands on the floor if possible. Hold the position for 10 seconds and then slowly reverse the motion while rolling back up through the spine and bringing the head up last. How many? Repeat 3-4 times. Top tips: don't allow your knees to lock as you progress through the movement. Keep them straight if possible to maximize the hamstring stretch, but slightly relaxed. Think about working through each vertebra once, one at a time as you roll down, and think about stacking them back one on top of the other as you roll up to standing. Keep the movement under control all the way through. Hip flexor stretch. What for? To prepare and stretch the hip flexor for the pendulum motion for the legs when power walking. How to do it? Stand with your feet together and your arm by your sides. Step your left leg back so that your right knee bends and keep sliding the foot back until you are in a full lunges position with your right knee directly aligned over the right ankle. Place both hands on your right thigh for support. Holding the position is your hips forward slightly until you can feel the stretch increase down the front of your hips. Hold the position for 10 seconds, then slowly bring your left foot back to standing. How many? Perform the stretch once with each leg. Top tips: in the lunges position, make sure your front knee is directly over the ankle so that your shin bone is an upright vertical, not at an angle. This will ensure that you do not put undue pressure on the knees. Keeping your body upright will ensure that you feel the stretch in the hips. Leg swing. What for? This is a great exercise to loosen up the hips and get the legs moving in preparation for your walking. How to do it? Stand side onto a tree or temp post and lightly rest your right hand on the support as you lift your left leg off the ground and balance it in front of you with the knees slightly bent. Gently swing your left leg back and forward, keeping the leg relaxed and loose and the movement controlled. How many? Swing the leg 10 times, then repeat on the other side. Top tip: don't swing the leg too high. Keep it within your comfortable range of motion. Keep the leg relaxed at the knee all the way through the swing. Try to keep the rest of your body strong and still as your leg moves. See how much you can balance yourself. Use your support very lightly. Calf stretch. What for? To stretch out the muscles in the back of your lower leg which work hard to propel you forward when walking. How to do it? Stand tall with your feet parallel and your hand in your hips. Take one step back with your right leg, pushing the heel into the ground, and bend your left knee, taking your weight forward onto it and placing your hand lightly on the front thigh. You should feel the stretch down the back of your right leg below the knee. Hold the stretch for 10 seconds. How many? Perform the stretch once with each leg. Top tips: keep both feet pointing forward throughout the stretch. Make sure your bent knee is directly above and in line with your ankle. Keep your back heel pushed firmly into the floor throughout the stretch. Ankle stretch. What for? To mobilize and loosen up the ankles so they feel warm and supple and ready to walk on. How to do it? Find something to use for balance and hold on with your right hand. With the weight on your right foot, lift your left foot a few centimeters off the floor and make circle. How many? Do 5 circles in one direction and then 5 the other way. Then repeat with the other foot. Top tips: circle the foot slowly, working through the full range of movement in the ankle. Avoid locking the knee on the supporting leg. Your cool down. When you start your cool down, wear an extra layer or two of clothing to avoid getting cold as your body temperature start to drop. It's really important that your muscles stay warm while you perform your stretches, and I would suggest, if you have been walking in your neighborhood, that your cool down walk takes you back to your front door so you can do the following stretches indoor. At home, if you have driven to your walking destination, keep a towel or exercise mat in the car and use it for your stretches. However, if it is a really chilly day, it is probably a good idea to drive home before stretching, and remember to have the heater on in the car. Gentle walking. What for? To allow your heart and respiration rate gradually to return to normal before you stop moving. How to do it? Slow your walking pace down gradually and continue walking for 5 minutes or so until you feel that your breathing and heart rate have returned to normal. Top tips: concentrate on your breathing, taking deep even breath until your respiration rate return to normal. Don't let your posture and walking technique go out of the window just because you are walking more slowly. Shoulder stretch. What for? The shoulder muscles work hard when you are walking to keep the arms pumping backward and forward at speed. This simple stretch will help to prevent them from aching too much the next day. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip width apart and knees slightly relaxed. Reach your left arm across the chest and place the right hand on your left elbow. Gently ease your arm in towards your chest by applying gentle pressure with your hand. Hold the stretch for 15 to 13 seconds. How many? Perform the stretch once with each arm. Top tips: keep the arm at shoulder height as you perform the stretch. Ease into the stretch gently. Don't force your arm where it doesn't want to go. Breathe deeply and relax into the stretch, and you will find that the muscle relax too. Chest stretch. What for? The muscle in the chest also work in pumping action of the arms. Opening out the chest is great for posture too. How to do it? Stand with your feet hip width apart and your knees relaxed. Link your fingers together behind your neck to the small of your back. Slowly raise your arms behind as far your flexibility will allow. If you find that you are too stiff to get into this position, try the stretch without linking the fingers. Hold the stretch for 13 seconds with a relax. How many? Perform for stretch just once. Top tips: don't allow the body to tilt forward as the arm lifts behind. You should feel this stretch across the front of your chest and in the front of your shoulder. Quadriceps stretch. What for? These big muscles in front of your thigh work really hard when you are walking. Quite often you will notice them aching the next day, but stretching will prevent them feeling too sore. How to do it? Stand side on the support with your feet together and hold on slightly for balance with your right hand. With your weight on your right leg, lift your left foot behind you and catch hold of it with your left hand. Bring your knee together and push your hips slightly forward while tightening your bottom muscles so that you increase the stretch. Hold the stretch for 15-13 seconds. How many? Perform the stretch once on each leg. Top tips: keep your supporting knee slightly relaxed to avoid locking the joint. Keep your head up and focus forward to help your balance on one leg. Spine twist. What for? The lengthen and release any tension in the spine. This is also a good stretch for general spine mobility. How to do it? Sit on a mat with your legs extended out in front of you. Cross the right leg over the left, bending the knee and placing the front foot flat on the floor next to your left thigh or as high or feel comfortable. Extend your left arm around the bent knee and rest the hand against the outside of your right thigh. Using your arm as a lever, twist your spine to the right as far as possible and look behind you. Hold the stretch for 15 seconds. How many? Perform the stretch once on each side. Top tips: make sure that you are sitting upright before you start the spine twist. Once you start twisting, think of landing even taller as you move. You should feel as if you have grown at least a couple of centimeters by the time you finish this exercise. If you have any back problem, be extremely careful with this stretch. Make it very small and gentle, and if it feels uncomfortable at any time, stop straight away. Frog stretch. What for? This stretch is great for increasing flexibility in the inner thigh muscles and the hips. How to do it? Sit up tall with your knees bent and pointing out to the sides of the soles of your feet placed together in front of you. Place your hands on your ankles and rest your elbow just your knees. Apply gentle pressure with the elbows and ease the knees down towards the floor. Hold the stretch for 15-30 seconds and then relax. How many? Perform the stretch just once. Top tips: hold on your ankle rather than your feet. Avoid any pulling on the feet. Keep the spine upright and lengthened throughout the stretch. Ensure that the soles of your feet and touching from heel to use. Back stretch. What for? This is the effective lower back stretch which also opens out the chest and feel great. How to do it? Lie on your front and your forearm on the floor and your chin resting on your hands. Keep your arms close to your body and your nose pointing down towards the floor. Push against your hands and slowly lift the chest and shoulder away from the floor, lengthening through the spine. Lift only as far as you feel comfortable. Hold the stretch for 15-13 seconds and then gradually lower the upper body back to the floor with control. How many? Perform the stretch just once. Top tips: if you have any back problem, it is probably best to skip this exercise. Keep your focus down towards the floor so that you keep the head in the line with the spine. Keep your core engaged throughout this stretch to avoid overextending the spine. Bottom and hip stretch. What for? To stretch the muscles in the bottom and hips. Great for relaxing after a long hard walk. How to do it? Lie on your back with the knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Rest your right ankle over the left thigh, keeping the knee at an open angle. Link your finger around your left thigh and gently pull the leg toward your body, bringing the foot off the floor. Ease the leg in as far as feel comfortable and hold the stretch for 15-13 seconds. How many? Perform the stretch once with each leg. Keep your tailbone pushed into the floor throughout the exercise. If you feel any pressure on your knees, reduce the angle at which you have crossed your legs. Try not to allow too much tension in the upper body as you pull the leg in. Side to side stretch. What for? This is a lovely relaxing stretch. Try to allow you the tension to slip away from the spine, chest, and hip area. How to do it? Lie on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and your arms stretched out to the sides. Slowly allow your knees to lower over to the right side as far as comfortable, keeping both shoulders to contact with the floor. Hold the stretch for 15-13 seconds and then slowly bring your knees back to the center. How many? Perform the stretch once on each side. Top tips: keep the movement slow and controlled throughout. Keep your abdominal muscles contracted and core engaged throughout the exercise to support the lower back. Do not move your shoulder or your chest as you move the legs. Relaxation pause. What for? To relax the whole body after a hard workout and allow all the tension to slip away. How to do it? Lie on your back with your legs slightly apart and your arms resting by your sides but slightly away from your body. Close your eyes and relax. Take deep even breath, breathing in the through your nose, out through your mouth. Direct the breath into your abdominal and concentrate on the stomach rising and falling with each breath. As you breathe in, imagine the breath traveling through the body to any area of tension, and as you breathe out, think of all the tension being released. Try to clear your mind of any other thought. If a thought pops onto into your head, send it away on a fluffy white cloud. Stay here for as long as you can. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes and sit up in your own. Stretch safely. Always make sure you have the correct technique when stretching. Move gently into each stretch, giving your muscles time to relax and adjust. Never bounce, as in increase the risk of muscle tear and soreness. Stretching should be gradual and relaxed. Take a stretch only as far as your body will allow. Don't try to copy other. Stretching should feel good. You should stretch to the point of mild discomfort at most and then ease up. Do not stretch until it hurts. If there's any pain, stop. Always make sure your muscles are warm before your stretch. Don't hold your breath during a stretch. Focus on the muscles group you want to stretch. So, how hard are you working to get the best fitness and weight loss results from your walking? It is essential that you monitor your progress and are able to tell how hard you are working. In the beginning, your basic goal is to transform your everyday stroll into a cardiovascular power walk. However, once you have achieved this, it is important that you keep setting yourself goals that you can work towards. In order to improve your level of fitness and ensure that you are losing weight, you need to understand the principle of overload, which means creating a challenge for yourself and pushing your body that little bit further each time you exercise. It is only when your walking session or more intense than the one before, when it pushes you beyond your usual capacity, that is present a challenge which the body can respond to. In this way, the body adapts when it surpasses what it can already cope with. Therefore, look at how you can increase the intensity of your workout as your confidence grow. However, in order to step up this challenge, it's crucial that you are able to measure your exercise accurately. There is many different ways you can do this, and some are more technical than others, but all are effective, and you should therefore experiment and find which work best for you. If your intensity level is too low, you will see little benefit from your exercise, but if it is too high, you still won't get the most out of it, as you will quickly become exhausted. Monitoring yourself will show you what is a challenge but still safe. It is the only way to take charge of your exercise program and get real result. How to calculate your heart rate, the harder you work, the more energy your body requires. Energy that is produced through the metabolism for fat stored in the body. However, this metabolic reaction depends on enough oxygen being present, and when the heart is pumping blood efficiently and quickly to the working muscles, then oxygen level are high. This direct relation between the body's ability to metabolize fat and your elevated heart rate therefore means that the latter is a very efficient gauge of how hard your body is working. Being able to compare the intensity of one walk to the next is crucial to attaining your weight loss goal. Here are two ways you can measure your heart rate. Each is probably accurate as the other, although one cost money and the other is a free heart rate monitor. Heart rate monitor are available to buy from any good support shop to supplier or fitness equipment. I describe their capability is more detailed. So here is, I will simply say the whereas they can be a great investment. I would recommend you rush out and buy one if you are a beginner. Treat yourself to one when you have achieved a weight loss goal and want to step your fitness level up a bit. Taking a pulse. This is the good old fashioned way of calculating your heart rate. There are two places where you can find your pulse. One is your wrist radial pulse and the other is side of your neck, carotid pulse. Your radial pulse, place your index and middle finger on the inside of your wrist and at the side underneath the base of your thumb. Apply gentle pressure and you should easily feel your pulses. Your cardiac pulse, place your index and middle finger on the side of your neck, underneath your jaw line and just forward of your ear. Don't press too hard here as you can affect your heart rate. In both places, make sure that you don't use of your thumb as you have a pulse point here too. Once you have found your pulse, you use a watch with a second hand on a stopwatch and count how many beats you feel in the space of 20 seconds. Multiply the figures by 3 and it will give you beat per minute. Resting heart rate. Resting heart rate simply means the rate of a person heart at rest. The best time to calculate yours is in the morning before you get out of the bed or do anything active. Take your heart rate at the radial or carotid pulse point and using a stopwatch or watch with a second hand, count the number of beats your heart make over 20 seconds, then multiply by 3 to find your beat per minute. You would expect it is to be somewhere between 60 and 80 beats per minute. Resting heart rate generally rises with the age and would be higher for a smoker. In most cases, the filter you are, the lower your resting heart rate will be. Try taking yours now and then again, and you have been following a walking program for 3 months. So let's get walking. I know you are eager to get walking and start losing weight. However, before you start, it is worth taking a pause and deciding what your goals really are. For if these are clearly work out, it is far easier to get motivated and stay motivated. Goals are best when they are personal and right for you. Think how much weight you would like to lose and give yourself a time frame in which to lose it. Ideally, aiming toward a date that means something to you, like a birthday, a holiday, or a similar occasion when you can celebrate your success. It is also a good idea to broaden to scope of your achievements so that you don't focus on weight loss as you any only goal. Your walking for weight loss program will result in all kind of additional benefit such as glowing, a healthier heart rate, deeper reserve of energy, and more positive outlook. All these will make a real difference to your life. So include them in your goals and appreciate the changes they bring as you improve your level of fitness. Once you have a long term goal, it is important that you break it down and manageable step by step challenges. For example, saying that you are going to lose 12 kg 26 lb can seem quite intimate dating, but if you have a weekly target of losing 0.5 kg 1 lb over 24 weeks, suddenly it seems realistic and you have a reason to monitor your progress on a regular basis and feel satisfaction from each step taken in the right direction. When you are happy with your goals, it will be easy for you to select and appreciate walking program from given a number of choices to start with. What as you become more body aware, you can personalize each program and customize it is to your specific need. Setting your goal, have a think about what is important to you and make a note of it on the table below. Remember to keep your goal realistic. Setting and achievable once will damage your motivation and be unproductive in the long run. It's really isn't worth putting yourself under so much pressure that you feel stressed out. To more you enjoy your walking program, the more you will reap the benefit. Staying motivated, it doesn't matter how much of a dedicated walker you are or you become. There will always be a day when you just don't feel like it. You may feel tired or lazy, that you simply don't have time, or even a little dependent with a weak or slow improvement. The most important thing is that you don't give up, as once you allow your program to lapse completely, it is much harder to get going again. In fact, almost half of all people who embark on an exercise program quit within 3 or 6 months, and a big percentage of these continue to pay for a health club membership even when they don't use it. The good news is the motivation slumps usually don't last too long, so you can trust that you will get it back. However, here are some ideas for giving your motivations an added boost. Schedule your walk, and this is especially important for your work is not always all set hours, and you quite often find yourself scheduling after hours meeting and appointment. At the start of each week, make a note of your walking session in your diary so they are in black and white. Remind you that way you will treat them as something fixed on your to-do list. You will feel less tempted to swap any of your walk for a drink down the pub, and you won't double book yourself. Reward yourself. It is important that you acknowledge when you achieve your goal. Your reward can be whatever you like, as long as they feel like a treat. Plan what they will be as you set your goals so that you have something to work towards and look forward to. Some people like to plan their rewards so that they have some relevance to their fitness program. For example, you could treat yourself to the pedometer, some new walking clothing, a new pair of trainers, or even a heart rate monitor. However, make sure you save the big reward for long term goal, as this will really give you something to aspire to. So routing planning. Before you go out on your walk, you need to plan your route. Try to find places that don't have too much traffic, pollutions, are well lit if you are walking at night and that you find pleasing. Think of a landmark or point of focus for your walk, like a church or tree, as this provide a destination and means you can leave the house with a healthy sense of purpose. Make sure you are aware of any weak hill or change of train you will come across, as this can all add to the intensity of your workout. If you do choose to include them, tackle them in the middle of the walk and certainly not at the end. Most important, plan your route to with distance that you want to walk as to extremely frustrating when just as you are getting into your stride. Then walk over too soon. If you are road walking, drive the route in your car first and clock the distance. You can adjust the route accordingly. So my topic is now finished. I hope you enjoyed the video and audio, and these topics are very beneficial for good health, for how to reduce to weight loss through walking and make some goals. And there is I have giving so many ideas, so listen properly and get more ideas. And stretching properly when you any doing any core workout, so do warm up, how to warm up to your body, how to cool down to your body, and there is some benefits. So stretch and do good hard work. Please like my video and audio, and subscribe my channel for get more informative notifications. So okay, thank you friends, thanks for watching, take care, bye bye.